Hi Sagittarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for June 2015. There's quite an air and fire feel to your sun sign chart for most of the month, and each year at this time the sun comes round into your opposite sign, so it basically means, along with Mercury and Mars there too, that it's kind of better to collaborate. It's a good time to do one-to-one kind of work, or to be in some kind of an alliance, some kind of dynamic duo maybe with another. And also, if you are needing certain information, it's a good time for gleaning facts from somebody else, picking their brains, but also turn that around. You could be the one that is seen to have the information. This is a good time really to get to where you want to go through this sort of interchange with others, and it can be quite dynamic and lively at times. You could find yourself crossing swords at times with the agenda or just the general sort of opinion of another, but you need patience, and Mars there means, you know, that you can handle somebody badly, or on the other hand somebody can handle you badly, and there could be a kind of crackling kind of atmosphere between you, which on the one hand maybe, you know, you need to throw a bucket of cold water over it, or on the other hand maybe you just don't want to throw a bucket of cold water over it, because it can also be a kind of a sizzly energy as well. But just make sure that you try to keep things on an even keel, because you know, this isn't a time to be going alone. You do better with not exactly leaning on somebody else or somebody else leaning on you, but in a sort of like a reciprocal kind of arrangement, and talking, conversing, communicating through correspondence of various kinds is likely to be pretty lively, and also there could be some more paperwork there, or maybe kind of forms to fill in or whatever. But Mercury is retrograde up until the 11th, so it could be that you are hanging around waiting for somebody to come back to you, or feedback, or you're hanging around, you know, there could be some hanging around going on because of, you know, just one sort of crucial piece of the puzzle that somebody else has got responsibility for is kind of missing, or if it's not missing, it's kind of, you don't feel that it's reliable, you know. But once the 11th has passed, then this is a time for you you will find that things start to unfold more easily from the 11th onwards. Until the 6th, Venus is in quite a sensitive place, maybe even touchy. You feeling as though a relationship is much more to you than you realize, maybe, or you can feel that you're just becoming more involved or intimate. Or it might not be like that. It might be that if it's like a working type relationship, that you find that you feel materially supported by this person. You could feel emotionally supported as well in either type of relationship. But also negotiations can go in your favor. You could have an ally helping you to dig down to get to the information or the answer or the solution that you've been looking for. You could feel also like shifting into maybe more commitment with something or someone. So if it's to do with a relationship, that could be the case, but also if it's to do with something to do with the job or business or property or finances, which are shared, or you've got a joint interest in something with another, then it could be the case that you want to, because things tend to be able to get ironed out, things tend to get ironed out with Venus here. And then Venus moves on the 6th into a really great place for you in your sun sign chart. She moves into the 9th house, and that ninth house is already being occupied by Jupiter, your ruling planet. So this is a real humdinger, actually, this energy for you Saggies, because it's got a lot of ninth house emphasis. You can look up what the ninth house is about, meaning that this is the time for you to really get out the rut, stretch into new territories, reach for that golden ring on the merry-go-round. And on top of that, you do have as well in this month, and also in half of July, a very, very good aspect with Uranus, meaning that all of a sudden there could be something that really resonates with you, that you see as an opportunity to take a leap of faith, or even more grounded though than that, because that has a sort of feeling of like terrible risk with it. There might be some risk, but it would be, you'd have to check out the options and look into it. But there could be something here that does kind of, if you get time to do that. But this energy is so supersonic that you might not even get time to do that. I mean, it is almost like a butterfly, just going past. It is, a supersonic butterfly, but I'm sorry about mixing my metaphors, but I do mean, it's something which is kind of random in a way. It's like serendipity, and it really is an amazing energy of reaching into something very, very new, something maybe unconventional for you, something which hadn't really occurred before, but which, as it's beginning to take shape, which could mean, later on after this month, you realize that it was something that you were interested in a long time ago. So it can be that kind of feeling, you get the support anyway, because you've got Venus, you've got Jupiter, and you've got Uranus influencing that area. And growth can come through travel, through connection with foreign lands, or just foreigner, people who are foreign in some way to you. So they might be from a very different background, or they might actually be in a different country. Education, teachers, institutions of education as well. And you also, over this transit, could be seen more as the one who's got the knowledge, but this is a great time for you to be learning. I mean, it tends to put you on a learning curve anyway, but for you to formally get your act together with taking the course, getting the training, whatever it is. So this long transit, as it will be, of Venus buddying up with Jupiter in this area until at least July, or in fact it is until, not until July, until August, it's good news. It is very, very good news for you to go with the flow of that energy, to really step into the sorts of situations and environments where you can be have access to that kind of energy, or as I often say, weather system, because this is a weather report, it's vibrational, subtle, but it is weather. So put up the solar panels to catch the sun, put up the wind turbine to catch the wind. I mean, if Venus and Jupiter are like the sun, and the winds are like Uranus, the winds of change of Uranus. So catch this energy and capitalize upon it and use it as an asset. We've got Mars in your opposite sign at the same time as the Sun, and there you've got to be a bit more patient. Then Mars, well, first of all, the Sun on the 22nd moves out of there, and then Mars follows just a couple of days later, 3 days later. And they both go into this area of gear shifting. I like to call it that because we can come up against some kind of resistance, whether it's been lurking there for a long time, or whether it is just something that is new, and that means that the writing's on the wall to shift our position, or to shift our way of doing this, and it is very much emphasizing joint joint funds, joint use of monies, joint use of property and equipment and all kinds of possessions and shared space and all the rest of it. I say all the rest of it. Well, I mean, you get the idea. So this is you shifting intuitively and kind of following that little kind of sacred divine light inside of you, because even though others may be of a different opinion, this is a time when that little inner voice will be much louder for you. So this is the area of intuition. This is the area of seeing beyond the veil and maybe even consulting with somebody in that regard. This is others seeing you, though, as having a bit of a crystal ball as well. It's the time for you to let go of what you know you don't really, isn't really relevant now. It's not appropriate. It might be something long-standing for many years. It might be just a kind of a pet theory or sort of comforting ideal that you've held on to. And actually you begin to see this isn't going to work. It might be like that. Or on the other hand, it might be that this ideal, that this aspiration, you kind of get it, how it can work. So it can be something along those lines. But you are tending to be, it's easier to push your buttons because you will be sensing and feeling more. So you're running more programming inside of yourself than just being out there and singing and dancing for others. You're feeling a bit like you want to keep something confidential, that it's not quite processed yet. It can be like that. And also looking into the monetary side of things, probably maybe buying, selling, renting, leasing, that type of thing. And you're looking for a win-win solution, but listening to your inner ear and seeing with your third eye. Sagittarius is the seer of the zodiac. And you'll tend not to want to put all your cards on the table just yet, because this is very good, this energy where Mars and the Sun will be, and then Mercury will be there next month as well, for drilling down to the fundamentals of what's underlying. So a situation, all that glitters is not gold, etc., but also within yourself, where am I really coming from here? What am I really looking for? What is my bottom line? Okay. And now Saturn is moving out of your sign from mid-month for a very short little time, but for about 3 months between June and September, mid-June to mid-September. So this position of Saturn puts you back into tying up loose ends from the past, as you were when it was there before. She was there up until Christmas Eve 2014, and she'd been there for several months up until 2014, sensitizing you, making you maybe talk more about the past, than usual, thinking more about the past, taking stock, but also doing what needs to be done to finish things off, to draw a line under the account, because you need to be able to move forwards with this huge new cycle. Sagittarius, Saturn is coming into your sign again from September onwards, and will be there until 2017. So that will be, this is your opportunity now to face up to maybe setups or contracts or behaviors or habits which you realize tend to shoot yourself in the foot. You tend to shoot yourself in the foot with certain patterns and certain certain alliances maybe as well, and certain beliefs about how much you are entitled to in this life. So you may be doing some more inner work. This is the time for you to be doing something which in the background, this is the chrysalis, this is the butterfly area, where it's sort of more than midway now, 3/4 of the way between caterpillar and butterfly to spread its wings. So you just need to be doing a little bit more like that. With all of these other energies, though, with Venus and Jupiter in this quite a long transit there, you will be finishing off some things, perhaps with Saturn just going back into the very, very later degrees of Scorpio and out of your sign. So finishing off, revisiting a situation, and then really, really kind of nailing it as much as we ever can, of course. And whether that, it could be feeling quite emotional as well, but whether that's an external things or internal things, this energy is there to help you to do that. You Sagittarians born between the 23rd of November or the 20th and 21st of December, or with 0 to 2 degrees or 28, 29 degrees rising on a feel that energy the most this forecast period. And this is the time to be self-disciplined with pursuits and activities which are nurturing and which feed your soul, whatever they are, when Saturn is in the sign before yours. And then we have the transit of Neptune. I don't know that I gave you actually the dates. The transit of Jupiter that I was mentioning, this is a great vibration as well for broadcasting onto a wider stage, for getting involved in wider issues, more global issues like publishing, politics, the law, communications, media, travel, and this is an expansive area, and definitely the boundaries of your known world can expand hugely. And it's for you Sagittarians, 7th to 14th of December, or with 15 to 20 degrees rising, feeling the energy this month. Feeling that energy the most this month, although the whole sign is subject to that energy. And it is very, very lovely energy for your sign. During the long transit of Neptune through your home area, you may end up being the prop or the martyr or the one that holds everything up from underneath, the pyramid, and having to sacrifice your preferences, your desires. And if that is what rewards you, then obviously you have to continue going through that phase until you see that there is a way to integrate more of your personal desires and your personal growth into the scenario of being of service to others. But definitely checking up on that every now and again, and asking yourself, am I being too much the giver here, and not enough giving to myself. You need to integrate your own wishes as well, and ultimately you will discover that is the life that you're living can only be lived by you, because everyone else's life is already taken. And you Sagittarians born the 30th of November to the 3rd of December, or with 8 to 11 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most. Yes, it does move very, very slowly, this planet. And that's it for June. And if you know your rising sign, your moon sign, listen to those. And also you can read some of this copy, not all of it, but the basics of what I've been saying to you here on my website. It's there for all to see. And I'll see you the next time.